Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. Your daily updates, or at least so far, we've been doing these daily updates, I think, for the last month or so already. I quite enjoy them. Ethereum's price action has also been a little bit more enjoyable, or at least there have been some great opportunities, right? So yeah, we'll talk about that in this video as well. I just see some leverage. Has been opened on Ethereum. To be fair, I did not see that before this video. It's relatively new. And I do want to check that out, but we'll do a full analysis, of course, on Ethereum. We'll talk about what's most likely here. There's a couple of interesting things I think we need to look at ultimately, even though we will look at some new stuff that kind of increases my conviction in what I think about Ethereum. If you watched my video yesterday and you still completely remember what I said yesterday, I still do think the same, all right? Nothing has happened in the last 24 hours. That has changed my bias or changed my perception on Ethereum. Maybe, well, like I said, I mean, there are certain things that have actually increased my conviction. I mean, for example, one of the things before we talk about the leverage that has just been opened, one of the things that I think was quite interesting, maybe also to be expected, is that Bitcoin over the last 24 hours has actually recovered fairly well, at least on the lower time frames. And then if we take a look at Ethereum right here, it really hasn't, right? I mean, we're capping right here at the POC at 2540, which is not a great sign, all right? If we're compressing below the POC, that's in general a sign of weakness, and that's also not something we have done right here in the middle of May when we were in the same balance. Now, is that the end of the world? No, I don't think so, and I'll tell you why in a moment as well. But it is something to notice. So yeah, I mean, Ethereum against Bitcoin has weakened, and we'll look at ETHBTC in a moment. First of all, the leverage that has been opened seems to be a major short position, so that's interesting. That kind of increases my conviction as well, so that's good to know. Some shorts have been opened, although you should know as well that over the course of the Asian session today, which is very often, as most of you know, the good session for Ethereum, at least in the last month. We saw some long leverage being opened and some shorts being closed. So it's good to know, but will it really change that much? No. However, what we see right now is that ETHBTC is trending down. I expect that to continue. However, we do have some major support levels for ETHBTC coming a little bit lower towards 0.023, right? So that is essentially something I think you do need to keep your eyes on. Maybe place a price alert, because that support level, I think, coincides with the main support level we have been, looking at for Ethereum in the last couple of days, right? And that's this support level right here, ultimately around 2400. A little bit higher as well, you have some confluences, but at this point of time, with ETHBTC dropping down, with Ethereum capping at the POC right here, and no apparent strength, I would argue, I think it's most likely still that we are going to drop down into that. But due to the short leverage that has been opened, in combination with the ETHBTC support, in combination with, I think, just the fundamentals of the market, I still think it is most likely that from there we will see a bounce. And then ultimately, look, when we see that bounce, we do have to do an analysis, kind of talking about how strong is this bounce, and is this just going to be a bounce up to the POC right here at 2540, or are we going to jump all the way back up to 2600? Both are possibilities, so that is something I'll keep you updated on, but for now I would still say that this is most likely. Yeah, those are my thoughts, all right? And like I said, I also wanted to show you ETHBTC, wanted to talk about that leverage. But no, I mean, bearish momentum I do think is most likely, but a bearish breakdown out of the balance, I don't. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.